What's up, Warrior? Welcome back to the War Movement Podcast. And I wonder if there was a number one indicator of future business failure, what do you think that would be? Is it sales rolling down? Is it the market turned around? Well, today I'm going to submit to you on what I believe is the number one reason why businesses will go down. And it's probably not what you first thought. I'm going to label this and title this that warriors train themselves like business athletes. So if that sounds like something interesting to you, be sure to subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever if you haven't yet already. Share this with someone if you think that it could be helpful. But I believe that the number one reason, the number one thing that you can see that will lead you to business failure is where your personal health habits are. Now, I wonder if you've ever been here before. Business starts to take off, you get really busy, you get really excited, and the first thing, at least for me, to go is my health. I say to myself things like, I'm too busy to go to the gym. I start eating out more and traveling more because I'm going to see clients, going to conferences. So my health habits, my dietary habits fall the wayside. My sleep habits get really, really bad. And all of a sudden, I start to eat worse, sleep worse, drink worse. And I have this excuse of, well, once it gets settled, once business gets better, then I'm going to take care of my health. Now, obviously, we know for health reasons that will hit you like a Mack truck in the future, but it actually submit to you more than just having the physical capacity to be able to sustain your business. I believe that if you see that your physical habits are going down, you will see a decay and a degradation in your business habits and your financial habits as well too. Why is that? And I wonder if you agree with me or not. Is that business is 95% mindset and 5% skill set. So if we want to have your mindset disciplined, the easiest place to discipline besides your mind is your body first. Think about it. What's easier, to control your mind against a bad business day or putting something or not putting something in your mouth? What's up, Mike? What's up, Sophia? What's up, TikTok and Facebook, YouTube? Great to see you. So what I've noticed is that if we can't discipline our body, we're not going to discipline our mind. Equally, if you do discipline your body, you're going to have a higher odds of disciplining your mind. It's the one thing that you can control. And I've seen this happen in my life, that if I do not keep up with my body, especially during a season of growth, well, I'm going to see in the next 30, 60, 90 days that my business is going to start to go down. So here's 3 places to consider, 3 questions to consider, and maybe be a little transparent with yourself on this, okay? I want us all to compare ourselves to 90 days ago, okay? Right now, as I'm doing this live, it is March 19th. That means 90 days ago, it was around, end of December. It was going towards the New Year's. So let's rate ourselves between better or worse on these 3 areas. You don't have to answer publicly. You can just think it to yourself. I'm doing this myself as well too. So number 1, how is your nutrition and your diet? And I appreciate the follow, Celeste. How is your nutrition and diet now compared to 90 days ago? Now, if you're actually doing this live with me and you're like, well, 90 days ago is Christmas, James, and holidays, there was no diet. Let's just pass it on to like the beginning of the year. Okay. This is what I'm reflecting on right now. I'm like, how was I 90 days ago? Was I more on it with my diet and nutrition? Was I intermittent fasting? Was I watching my protein count? Was I watching what I was eating every single day? Was I watching my supplements? How was I with these types of habits compared to right now? And I think, all right, am I better or am I worse? If I'm to be honest with you, at the time that I'm doing this live, I had just gone off a 2-week Australia trip for business and for fun. And I'll be real, my lifestyle habits, my diet, nutrition is not as good as it was 90 days ago. I let things slip, ate a little bit too much here and there, didn't drink enough water, drank too many other things that are not water. You can fill in the blank, whatever you want to do for there. So I know that my nutrition and my diet are not as good. My nutrition, my supplementation, like I was forgetting to use my supplements as much as I needed to. So if I'm real with myself in this first category compared to 90 days ago, it's not going in the right direction. So I need to think, okay, how do I want that to change? Because the results you see today in your life, in your business, in your health are not because of what you did yesterday. It's because of what you did 90 days ago. So I'd love to ask, if you're still with me on this first point, put a 1 in the comments below. We're going over the 3 areas to look at if you want to discipline your body so that your business, your mindset, and everything can get better. So the first category is in your nutrition and in your diet. Is it getting better or worse? You might want to answer that for yourself. If it's getting worse, are we going to change it around? If it's getting better, rock on. I can predict that your business is probably going to go in the positive direction. Keep it up. Keep on doubling down. Okay. Second place. Awesome. I see that you're with me. Second place of disciplining your body is, how is your exercise or your endurance compared to 90 days ago? In 90 days ago, are you, if you're a gym goer, are you hitting the gym more? Are you hitting the gym less? Maybe you're a walker. Are you walking more? Are you walking less? Like, how's your overall endurance? Maybe you speak like I do in presentations. Do you feel like you're like not able to endure it as much? So take a look at your exercise, your fitness, your endurance regimen as a whole compared to 90 days ago. Was it better or was it worse? I'll I'm going to grade myself in the time of doing this conversation. Um, I just got back off of 2-week vacation, so I didn't have access to a gym as much. And I'll be honest, no worries. I'm grateful to see the transparency. You need a challenger accountability group, all good. You can be your best own accountability group. You can make your own challenge, right? Warriors can change this on a dime. It's awareness, and then we make a decision, right? So I'll be honest. I've been okay, I would say, on this department. I did my best on this department. Considering I was traveling, I still did hit the gym almost every single day. I still did hit some weights every single day, but it wasn't to the level that I know that I needed to be. Let me submit something to you. For the level of person that you need to become to achieve the level of goals that you have in your business, in your life, are you at the physical fitness that you need to be to achieve that? When I imagine, and I love listening to all types of people. Ed Milet, if you don't follow him, he's one of the most well-known high performance gurus in the world. Ed Milet has a really cool saying, which is, he made this note. He said, what's interesting? There's a lot of athletes that become business people, right? In fact, put in the chats if you're watching this live or on replay. Who's an athlete you can think about that turned around and became a business person? I think about Michael Jordan. I'm pretty sure Michael Phelps has some type of business. LeBron James, right? Like, they get into shoe game. Like, these business people, or these athletes turn business people. And Ed Milet submitted this. He said, if athletes train like business people, shouldn't Shaq, right? Shouldn't business people train like athletes? Why don't we look at ourselves as business athletes, right? If we want to get paid like an athlete, why don't we as entrepreneurs train ourselves like an athlete as well too? It's so important, right? If you want to be at your best, warrior, well, we need to make sure physically we can maintain the workload and the mental load of the things that we're going to do. So I thought about that. So you know what? For me, for reals, for the types of goals that I have in the next 90 days, I know that my physical habits are not where it needs to be. So I'm starting up a new 90-day plan. I'm tuning up my diet. I'm tuning up my exercise regimen. Like, I'm getting really, really big onto this because I'm like, I want to make sure that I don't let slip the little habits and disciplines in my body that I can control. Because if you can control what's in your body, you're going to have higher control of being able to, higher odds of being able to control what else is out there. Okay. If you're still with me on this, put a 2 in the comments below. 3 areas to assess yourself on so that you can predict the next 90 days of your business, whether you're going up or down. I want to make sure that we all go up on here. Okay. And here's the last area that I'll submit to you. This one's a little bit more subjective. Okay. The first was your nutrition and diet. The second was your exercise and endurance. The third area to look at, compare 90 days ago to now, is where's your overall vitality and energy levels at? Okay. Are you jumping out of bed with joy? Are you not hitting snooze? You're waking up before the alarm clock? Are you the one that's looking for the next caffeine hit every single day right now? Are you feeling like you're going through a meeting, you're nodding off, that you can't mentally be there? Are you feeling like you're hitting the bed and you're just exhausted? Where are your energy levels compared to 90 days ago? Okay, this is super huge. Because what I do know is this, is that if we want to show up in the marketplace the best that we can, one thing that people buy, it doesn't matter about your product, it doesn't matter about your service, people buy people, people buy energy, right? Energy is caught, not taught. If you would agree with me on that statement, put a me in the comments below. It's important that we show up strong. It's important that we show with maximum conviction and energy and vitality. People buy life. People buy energy and enthusiasm. So if our energy levels are not going higher than they were 90 days ago, how can we expect to sustain a greater level of business? Hey, the greater level of business means greater levels of responsibility. It means greater levels of energy. It means greater levels of problem solving. So if we don't have higher energy or higher endurance, how can we expect that we're going to be able to last that race, maintain that race, and get better and be a better problem solver? All right. So these 3 areas I'm monitoring right now, because this is live on March 19th. So it's the end of a quarter. I'm in highly reflective mode. I just passed my birthday yesterday, so maybe it's something about that as well too. But I submit it to you as well too, because 90 days is usually when 90 days out of what you do right now, you will see the byproduct of the things that you're investing into yourself. I want to make sure, warrior, that you are growing the next 90 days. I want to make sure that if you had a good first quarter, you're compounding that and taking to the next level. I want to make sure that if you did have first quarter, we can change it around and take it to the next level. So 3 areas, once again, grade yourself in these places. Is it worse or is it better? Number 1, nutrition and diet. Number 2, exercise and endurance. Number 3, vitality and energy. Let me end it with this story. I realized this, and thank you for the happy birthday message. I realized this because if you know where the warrior movement was born from, it was born out of desperation. We were in a place where our first 6-figure business plummeted. We lost everything. We went from 6 figures of income to 6 figures of debt, almost got out of business, almost quit. But I made a decision to say, let's do this one more time. And I remember feeling so not confident to be able to perform. I knew the skills, but I just didn't have the mental disciplines to be able to push myself every day. Have you ever been there before? You knew what you wanted to do, but you just couldn't do it. So I knew I could make the calls. I knew I could make the posts, but I just wasn't doing it well. I wasn't getting the results. So why is this happening? Well, I realized that if you want to discipline your mind, you got to discipline your body. So the first thing that I did to start to rediscipline my confidence was start to discipline this. So I got up a little bit extra early. I started to drink my water first thing in the morning. I took my supplements. I went to the gym. I started just making little promises in my physical body to myself. I tuned up my eating, right? Like I started to tune those things and build it day after day after day after day, where then that became autopilot. And now it feels weird for me to not drink my water, to not take my supplements and not go to the gym, for example. But what I realized is when I got confidence to make those promises to myself, I became more confident in my business. I became more confident in my goals. I became more confident on social media because I said, if I can make a promise to myself with my body, I might be able to make a promise for other people and deliver to them as well too. And I saw how that quickly started to change things around. And as we relaunched this brand, what took us 6 years to build the first time took us a fraction of the time to get to the same productions. And it was completely different. Why? I went for the body first. So I'd submit to you, Warrior, think, where are we at in the last 90 days compared to now in your body? Is it better or worse? Where do we want to be in the next 90 days? I'm assuming better. Then what can we do right now to start to tune these things up in your nutrition, diet, your exercise endurance, and your vitality and energy? Start it right now. And this way you'll be able to see the compound effect 90 days from now. So I hope this was helpful. If you did, I'd love to hear your comments below. If you're not subscribed to this podcast, we drop this plus a lot of cool other things to help you win in business and life. So subscribe to my Spotify, my Apple, YouTube, wherever it is that you can find this. If you found it helpful, share this with someone as well. But other than that, Warriors out.